In discussing the management of our emotions, we recognize that there are long-standing emotional traumas from the past lingering near the surface which can be triggered by present events or reminiscing thoughts. Dr. Neil Anderson believes that all of us have some hurtful, traumatic experiences in our past that have scarred us emotionally. He states, "You may have grown up with a physically, emotionally, or sexually abusive parent. You may have been severely frightened as a child. You may have suffered through a painful relationship in the past, a broken relationship, the untimely death of a loved one, or a divorce. Any number of traumatic events in your past can leave you holding a lot of emotional baggage. Those experiences are buried in our memories and are available for instant recall. By the time we reach adulthood, we are no longer emotionally neutral about anything. If we discussed the topic of rape, it would trigger an emotional response from everyone. The intensity of emotion would vary on a scale from 1 to 10, depending upon each person's previous experience. If you or a close loved one had been recently raped, just talking about the topic would send you soaring to an 8 or a 9 on an emotional scale of 10. You immediately would feel a surge of anger, hatred, fear, or righteous indignation. However, if you have only read about rape victims but have never been one, met one, or counseled one, your response would be more like a 2 or a 3 on the emotional scale. Something as simple as a name can prompt an emotional response. If your kind, loving grandfather was named Bill, you probably have a favorable emotional reaction to other people named Bill. However, if you had a teacher named Bill who was a tyrant, or if the school bully was named Bill, your initial reaction to the Bills in your life is probably negative. If your spouse suggests, "Let's name our first child Bill," you might react, "Over my dead body." Dr. Anderson calls the residual effects of past traumas primary emotions. The intensity of your primary emotion is determined by your previous life history. The more traumatic your experience, the more intense will be your primary emotion. Many of these primary emotions will lie dormant within you and have little effect on your life until something triggers them. Have you ever started a topic of conversation that upset someone and sent him storming out of the room? What set him off, you wondered? He was set off by the topic of your conversation. You touched the button that connected him to his past, and just touching the emotional core may bring tears to a person's eyes. The trigger is any present event that can be associated with past conflicts. Most people try to control their primary emotions by avoiding any people or events that trigger them. I'm not going to go there if he is going to be there. I can't watch that kind of a movie because it comes too close to home. I don't want to talk about that subject. The problem is, though, you can't isolate yourself completely from everything that may set off an emotional response. You are bound to see something on TV or hear something in a conversation that will bring to mind your unpleasant experience. Something in your past is unresolved and therefore still has a hold on you. In our next segment, we will learn how to resolve primary emotions.